What happens when someone strong suddenly breaks down? This is what happened to Elijah. After a big win against false prophets, he ended up in a cave asking God to let him die. Elijah had just called fire from heaven and beat 450 prophets, and you'd think he'd feel great, right? Wrong. When Queen Jezebel threatened to kill him, the strong man of faith ran away. He wasn't just running from danger, he felt disappointed and tired, deep in his soul. The big spiritual change he hoped for didn't last. He ended up in the desert feeling as empty inside as the wasteland around him. Under a small tree, this powerful prophet broke down completely. He didn't ask for help. He asked to die. "I'm done, Lord," he said. "Just take my life. I'm no better than anyone else." When Elijah reached God's mountain, he found a cave to hide in. There God told him, "Come out and stand on the mountain. I'm about to pass by." Then came amazing displays of power. First a strong wind tore apart mountains and broke rocks, but God wasn't in the wind. Next came an earthquake that made the mountain shake, but God was not in the earthquake. Then came fire, but again, God wasn't in the fire. These were huge, scary events, exactly what you'd expect when God shows up. For Elijah, who was already feeling terrible, this probably made things worse. If God wasn't in these powerful events, where was he? After all the noise and destruction ended, a strange quiet settled over the mountain. In this deep silence, something completely different happened. The Bible calls it a still small voice or gentle whisper. Think about that change. From mountain-breaking winds to a sound so quiet you'd have to really focus to hear it. This was the turning point. When Elijah heard this soft whisper, he knew immediately this was God. He covered his face with his cloak, which meant he was showing respect, and stood at the cave entrance. In that quiet whisper, Elijah found God, not in scary chaos or destruction, but in gentle stillness. The God who controlled nature at Mount Carmel chose to meet his broken prophet in the most personal, humble way. This gentle whisper wasn't just a sound, it was medicine for Elijah's wonderful soul. He was drowning in fear, failure, and loneliness. Another show of scary power might have broken him completely. What he needed wasn't another reminder of God's huge power. He needed comfort and someone who wouldn't judge his weakness. The whisper showed that God understood Elijah's fragile state and his need for gentle care. The quiet meeting began healing Elijah in ways that big power displays never could. First, God addressed his loneliness and said, "I still have 7,000 people in Israel who haven't worshipped Baal." Elijah wasn't alone. His work hadn't been a total failure. Then God gave him new tasks to anoint new kings and train his replacement, Elisha. This wasn't busy work. It was a plan for the future. God had still important things for Elijah to do. This meeting changed how Elijah understood God. He learned that God often speaks in quiet ways that needed a listening heart, not just in big dramatic events. Elijah went back to his work with a deeper understanding of God's gentle nature. So what does this mean for us? Elijah's story shows something important about being human and how God responds to us. Even strong people can fall into despair. Feeling broken or like a failure doesn't mean your faith is weak. God often meets us not how we expect. Not always in big loud moments, but in quiet, barely noticeable ways. In gentle nudges of hope or unexpected peace during troubled times. When life's problems overwhelm us and our failures seem too loud, maybe we need to find our own quiet place to listen. To hear that gentle voice that doesn't break mountains but mends broken hearts. The same voice that saved the broken prophet can speak hope into our own life too. Amen.